what problems we are facing, how we can improve the performance. Yeah, so that's the problem. We could not identify, we could not put where we are now. Yeah, we just do, but there's nobody. I mean, there's no office to monitor us. I mean, that's the challenge for us.
For myself, the challenge that we face is the mentality of most of the large companies or the commercial building that we deal with. The willingness to pay to manage waste in an ethical manner is really very low, and a lot of companies, they opt for very, very cheap solution, and that is when loopholes come into picture, where most of the waste contractor will just take the waste and dump it at illegal dump site, and that's just about it. It's nothing to do with me anymore. And the companies also doesn't bother to check where do their waste end up at. Is it at the correct place? Is it being recycled? Is it being managed properly and responsibly? And yeah, that's the main challenge.
I think it's similar. I think the key word here is willingness to pay among all Malaysians is very low, really low, especially for waste management. Not even at the lower level like the public. I would say even the government is very low, and the university top management maybe is very low, because the priority is not that. Waste is something at the very least priority at all levels of the country, including the ministry. That I can assure you.
If talking about individual actions, for me, I look at it, I think the most obstacle for people to start low waste is mindset, inconvenient. Okay, if I ask my husband to tapao with container, he say, 好鬼麻煩啊. Which is very troublesome, inconvenient for him. He say that. Well, this I think basically general public will say that inconvenient. But the truth for our earth is really uninconvenient, right? So, well, I think this is like brainwash. You really got to one time they weren't going to listen. I mean, more people have to do the effort. And then I believe in carrot and stick system. Some people lead the change and some people follow the change. So those who can lead the change really work hard on that. So that's why I insist my staff to do that. Yeah, even though they say I'm fussy, okay, no one, you choose how much you need to pay. Okay, so but I reward them at the same time. So I believe carrot and stick system gotta work. And then for the okay, if you talk about general ways, I always have this question. I always think, why there's if everyone is responsible for their own waste, then we won't have any problem. In terms of company, in terms of local or individual or individual, you produce the waste, you gotta treat the waste. So, but until now, I don't have the solutions. I think this is the one. I think we really have to work into it.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, I would like to open the the question to the floor. So, if there's any question, I think you just shout it out. I don't think that we can pass the mic around. Yeah. So anyone.
This question is to direct to restart. I want to ask that the case study you did with plastic. So would you recommend us to use the plastic that's used from recycled material, or you would recommend us to use the transparent plastic that can be recycled?
Very tricky question. You use recycled plastic also not right. You use the not recycled plastic also not right. It's not. It's actually, I think sometimes it's very difficult for you to choose, because it's when you purchase something, it's already decided by the retailers that they want to provide this plastic to you, with the mindset that, hey, I'm using a recycled plastic and I'm giving it to my customers, and I'm doing rightly to the environment. So I'm not sure if you have a choice to reject or to use it, but maybe like what Swee Yun said, in the first place you could have just refused the plastic by using your own bag. I guess that's the closest solution that you can opt for. Yeah.
I have a question for Dr. Tan. What do you think of in the past I've come across a couple of companies or people who have actually brought biomass and all those into wanted to recycle, basically use the rubbish to produce energy and so on. But they have faced so much of issue with local authorities getting approval for land and all those issues. That do you think that with current situation will that change or not? Because biomass, the thing is that it fall under two ministries, is it? Ministry of Energy for the energy portion, and then the KPKT on the rubbish side of the portion. So that itself create a lot of conflicts in terms of who's responsible, and nobody want to touch that by the end of the day. But like YB lobbying said that currently they will really want to do into biomass as an alternative energy and really working on that. So does that, will they change the landscape, or it's just matter of talking only and probably will they wait for another 3 or 5 years, only things will change?
Okay, I think it's not really an overlap of their jurisdiction. Waste is definitely under the Ministry of Housing and Local Government, which is National Solid Waste Management Department. Okay, it's very clear. But it's on, when waste into energy is on this new ministry, we call it MESTEC now, it's a very long name. Okay, so whether it will be a big change, I would say it's not because of the current government or previous government, but it's again back to the question, are we ready to go for the waste to energy? Are we ready to pay for it? Is Malaysia ready to operate a plant which is, I would say technically no problem at all. When somebody protests a waste to energy plant, I will ask always 2 questions. Have you been to a waste to energy plant in Germany, in Japan, in Korea? No. Have you been to a landfill that I show you all the photos in Malaysia? No. Then why you protest? Right. So let me finish this first. So I think like currently we have one proposed big one is waste to energy in Kuala Lumpur, which is ongoing, and there's no news yet whether it's going to be scrapped or it's going to be continued. But the crucial, the key word here is still whether we are ready to pay. At the end, it's who to pay the operation cost.
Okay, just to add to that itself, the situation here is that the contractor, all the people that is operating the thing are willing to pay for all the cost of that. By end of the day itself, they are going to recover back from probably sale of the energy and so on. But the government are not willing to move forward with that.
No,
Even
government,
like
government is going to pay the tipping fee.
Huh?
Government is going to pay the tipping fee and the contract.
But even the tipping fee is obviously a very minimum cost as well, not that much.
No, government is going to pay tipping fee. The company who operates the waste to energy is getting the tipping fee. They generate income from the recyclables a little bit, and then the third income is from the energy generation. So that makes their calculation of the ROI, how many years, then they go for this project and
So if I divide the waste to energy bit, it's not, municipal waste to energy is not the same as biomass. If you give me something like anti-fruit bunches or rice husk you burn, that's actually pretty consistent in composition. It has a pretty narrow branch of ash, it's got a pretty narrow branch of chemical composition, but it's a pretty definitive dryness and a pretty definitive energy value. One of the problems with municipal waste is that it can be very variable. The other problem is that the countries, you mentioned Germany, Korea and Japan, the countries that opt for incineration are virtually taking themselves out of the recycling game. It's either or, because the municipal waste, the best fuel is your plastics and your paper. If you take your plastics and your paper out, it really is not very good for burning. You won't get much energy back. So also, there's a lot of case studies where communities have committed themselves to waste incinerators and basically get fined if they don't deliver enough rubbish. So if your aim is to reduce rubbish and to recycle, an incinerator that needs to have a specific amount delivered every day will actually preclude you from the other games. You have to make a decision. You either want to reuse and recycle or you incinerate.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right.
All right, thank you very much. I think under the SEDA definition, they classify waste management as part of the biogas. I understand your point here is empty fruit bunches of the palm oil. We are the largest in the world. We have millions tons every year. But how to turn that into energy is a very big thing.
I've had rice house, biomass, excellent. And we had waste tires thrown away, nightmare.
Okay, I see there's a question from there.
Yes, thanks so much for
Louder.
I come all the way from, thanks to all the speakers for the excellent presentations. I come all the way from Australia. So this is my first meeting, so thanks for the invitation. So one question I have is, coming from a country where actually we've been recycling for a while, so we have actually segregated bins for different items. But coming here, I come through to my new condo, and the first question that I asked to my real estate person was like, oh, so where's the recycling bin? It's like, no, there's no recycling bin. We don't do recycling here. So I got very discouraged. So coming here and hearing you gives me a bit more hope. And so this is more of a practical question to you. What do I do when my condo doesn't have any recyclables? Where do I put my recyclable waste? How do I manage it myself, where there is no facility to do so? And I imagine that many of the people here are facing the same issues.
Okay, I'll just give a short answer on that. What I do is I usually find those cleaners. Let's say they are cleaning the leaves and all those. They do collect all those recyclables, so that's who I give them to. But I think for more specific answers, anyone can help.
Okay, for condo, right, if they don't have any recycling program, actually there are many companies who collect your waste. There is an app, there are some companies that, can I say the name?
Yeah.
Okay. As I understand, iCycle, right? And like if you have e-waste, like computer, all the things, then you can contact certain person, and which is they collect the e-waste. But first thing is, you come to Zero Waste Malaysia map, then you can look for that. There's 400, like I said, there are many alternatives. Any center to collect waste at the same time in other initiatives on this 5 block. Okay.
So you mean they come and collect it from your place? So
Yeah. But of course, it depends on the volume and what kind of waste you have.
Yeah, the problem is that the waste that gets generated in a condo, it gets accumulated, by people. They wouldn't do it for one person. So I guess it would be a matter of raising it with the management, perhaps.
You're talking about overall the whole condo waste,
Yeah.
not only your one.
Yeah, well, because I mean, for me, it would be much more harder to arrange my own waste when it could be done as a collective. I mean, there is like fee rates that are being paid when they take the condo, so some of that fee should be dedicated to waste management collection. So I mean, has anybody gone through this experience before to deal with the management and residential places?
May I know which area are you staying in?
Cheras.
Cheras. Okay. I've got no idea where you can place your recyclable, but as a resident of your condominium, there must be a management office that is managing the condominium. So I believe you can always voice it out to them so that they can be alert that there's actually demand or expectation of the residents that this needs to be done. Or if you think your own personal voice is not enough, then gather like-minded people of the condominium residents and do it together.
So you mean like collect signatures from residents? Or?
I thought KL already have to separate your.
Yeah, so the thing is, in Malaysia,
KL is
there's
a
always
KL.
a law or legislation around it, but
It's only for condo-
the
but for
enforcement is
houses
not
it's already
complete yet to
enforced.
facilitate,
For houses.
or the facilities is not there to help.
Condominium because it's a
I
government
think the
management.
source separation in KL doesn't include high-rise building. It's only landed properties. You are staying in Cheras, I'm staying in Cheras. Okay. I think I don't know where exactly you stay, but it's a normal, common practice in all the high-rise building. Although you don't see any particular bins for you to segregate, but there is a cleaner every floor, and there is a waste area at the ground floor where the cleaners will never throw away any valuables. So recycling rate actually in Malaysia is not that low. Recycling rate in Malaysia is easily 20% and above. It's not like the government announced sometimes 10% or below because they simply cannot capture the data. Everybody keep your newspaper at home and sell to the old newspaper man. Yes. The data never go to government. You sell whatever also at the bank, you know, to those people who come door to door. Then data nobody submit to the government. Government only collect data from the waste company, the waste concessionaire companies, the local authorities. Then they compute the figures, divide by the total waste. Then they will say like, okay, we have 5%, 10%, 8%. So actually we are doing quite good recycling, but it's all money oriented, that is for sure.
I can say something. 8 years. Okay. I can say something. 8 years ago, Eco Warriors started condo recycling system. The system is still online. You can get the informations like a letter to send to your management. All is there. Yeah, the information. Oh, we started that many years ago, but we never continue. So maybe Po Chen can help you on that. It's on the Gregor's website. Po Chen, yeah. Just get from her. We started that many years ago. Yeah.
Alright, thank you very much. Okay, so is there any questions? I think I can get my 2 more questions. Alright.
So this one is directed to Professor Ezlin. As an educator, which angle do you think is the most effective in improving the sustainability of just the general public or the country?
The public of the country, which area? What I can say is that now, actually, if you talk about technology, most treatment technologies already available, waste management technology already available. So now, what's the problem is that the human side, the lifestyle of us, yeah, of the community. So the challenge is now how to bridge the gap between technology and human and the society. So that's the challenge that we see now we are facing. How to make sure that waste separation being done by the public, yeah? So that when the waste, the feedstock to the treatment plant is clean, is good. Otherwise, it will be very difficult, and even it can actually cause problem to the technical parts of the technology. So I see that it is one of the challenge, how to change the human behavior, how to be more environmental friendly, how to make sure that they separate the waste. So I think that is one of the challenges that we are facing now.
Thank you.
Follow up to this, what do you do with the waste that can't be separated? Because we have all this nice pure plastic and pure paper, but a lot of the waste, for example, I go to Subway, I've got paper coated with plastic. These so-called paper cups are coated with plastic. Most of the juices and milk and stuff you buy in the supermarket comes in Tetra packs. So I'm having plastic, cardboard, and thin metal film that actually be vapor deposited on it, which is completely inseparable. What do we do with that? Do we have to completely design these materials out, or can something be done? Anybody in particular?
That is one of my target for the new, the government now. Actually, I'm proposing now a new packaging law for manufacturers. Because Malaysia manufacturers, they just produce whatever as they like. Exactly what you said. You know, and we are managing the waste at the back end of this whole stream, you see. So unlike Korean, Taiwan, Japan, and some European countries, they have packaging law. I give you very simple example. Mooncake Festival. Are you familiar with Mooncake Festival in Malaysia? You have four pieces of mooncake. You see the packaging year by year is tremendous. I would call a lot of wastage there. Okay, and one more thing is about the junk food of Malaysia. You see like a big box. Inside is just a little bit. It's more or less like cheating. You are cheated when you buy this product. You know, like a big red color during Chinese New Year or Hari Raya, green color, but totally is all like excessive packaging because there is no control on the manufacturers. So this is what we are trying to do. I'm trying to do, proposing a new packaging law.
Absolutely, totally good luck. We had a theoretical law that people have to take back excessive packaging in other countries, and we still have paper bags everywhere. So they're not that easy to get rid of. Originally Germany.
Ah, okay.
Alright, I guess we can take one more question. Is there any burning question? Right.
Well, I come from the hospitality industry. I come from the hospitality industry, and it really burns me that we have a lot of waste. But what I feel is that as managers or at the back of the office, we can do our best to reduce the waste, or we can do everything to make sure that there is less waste. But how can we, as the hotel industry, make it sound really good and ask customers to reduce their waste? I mean, if they order 7 dishes as a waiter, I cannot do anything to tell him no. Because it's my job to serve him. But I know this one man is never going to be able to finish this 7 plates of food. So how can we, as waiters, as front office managers, or as receptionists, encourage our guests to kind of be environmentally friendly, especially in the bathrooms? They just leave the water open, or they just open the soap bar or something. How can we, try to be more hospitable and be environmentally friendly? Because if you tell a guest, oh, can you please not waste food, they'll feel offended. They'll be like, isn't your job to give me service? Yes, it is, but what about the world? So what should we do? I mean, how can we make it nice and environmentally friendly?
Well, yeah, general public will do that. Wow, you just use whatever you want, and then if they didn't use it, they think that they are, wasted the money. That kind of mindset. Well, but there are people which are looking for, we have 17,000 members in Kuala, Indonesia. Sometimes people are asking, where is a hotel which is green and eco-friendly? We're looking for that, those shower caps, or those. We don't want all this waste. Actually, there is a demand. Maybe you should, your boss, you can think about that. It's not start from the whole hotel, but certain rooms, certain floor is categorized as this is special zone for those equal, friendly guests. For me, I have a question also. Like, go to the dinner, wedding dinner, the food is not finished. I say I want to bring over. He say no, unless you bring a container. If not, we are not guaranteed. They cannot tapao for me, right? For the food, something like safety, that kind of, So this is the thing we need to look into it.
Alright, thank you very much. I feel that, we have really awesome speakers and we have really awesome audience as well. And I believe there are a few experts there as well. So, okay, before we end this, I would like to give like 1 minute for each speaker if there's anything else that you'd like to add. Stop.
Well, I already said what I Okay, I think, always start from ourselves. Well, why I say always start with that? Because I think most of us here come from certain background which is related to environment, and we want to do something good for environment or society. But I find that sometimes we always think big, look at the big picture, but forget about the small step. That which is always start from ourselves, always start from small scale. So, this is what my advice. Thank you.
Prof?
Okay, likewise, I also have the same thought as you. If we don't start from, it doesn't start from us, you don't expect your friend to start first, yeah? And actually, to start, you need a group of people to do it together. Otherwise, it won't work, yeah? So, and then when we have start, you cannot stop when you achieve on one level. You have to go up and up until the top level. So don't give up. Okay, that's all.
I think coming from a waste contractor perspective, for any one of you who has been in the working force or a student, always try your best to practice your consumer rights on waste. So ask your waste contractor, where are you sending the waste to? Can you please show me the evidence of the place, where the waste is ending at? Is it at the recycler? Is it at the landfill? Show me documentation to prove. You can apply the similar concept on whatever you practice for audit or whatever reporting you are doing. You always require documentation, so you apply the same to waste. Don't be afraid of them, because obviously they are rough people, they look kind of rough, but you as the company employing them to manage your waste, you have always the right to ask them, how are you managing my waste? So you always have to give them your pinch of salt that, hey, I'm watching you, so don't play with my waste.
The important word to our friend here, don't lose your job because asking your customer to not to do this and that. Okay, I think in general I would say Malaysian is not really very low in terms of awareness. So I always against the idea of keep on creating awareness, because I have done some study before about recycling. 70% of Malaysians knows about recycling. They're aware it is important, but they are still not doing it. Why? That means it's attitude problem. Everybody knows wasting food is not good, right? From all religious point of view. But still people cannot finish and just supper is okay. Why? It's already a behavior problem. It's already an attitude change issue now. So we are at a stage now of attitude change is more than keep on creating awareness of waste management.
Alright, I would like to sum it up as the few key words over here: attitude, behavior, and what is it called? We really need to start from ourselves, so that we start from individual, then maybe can bring it to workplace, maybe institutions. Then the waste won't actually clog up in the landfill. Okay. Alright. So yeah, really thank you really much for all the speakers. And really thanks a lot to the participants as well. Okay, I have actually updates for green drinks. We might not be able to do it every month, but we might do it like every 2 months. So the next one, we are actually targeting there will be KL Eco Film Festival, organized by Eco Nights. Okay. So that is actually a really, the biggest green events in Malaysia. I think so. So the next green drinks will be on the 26th of October in CLEF itself, in KL Eco Film Fest itself. So tentatively it will be done on Friday night, 7 PM to 9:30 or 10 in white box. So the topic, you'll be in Publica. So the tentative topic is, because it's Eco Film Festival, so our tentative is there will be an award giving ceremony for those award winning filmmakers. So we are actually thinking, and also, okay, one more, and their theme is for this year is forest, water and climate change. So we are actually thinking, how can we actually integrate all these things? So we will be getting the filmmakers as the speaker themselves. Most probably you'll get Yasmin to tell us why has she been doing KL Eco Film Fest for like 11 years and still doing it. And the topic we actually propose, tentative title is the impact of film on forest, water and climate change itself. So the speakers should be the filmmakers themselves. Yeah. So that, to me it's pretty exciting to see from another angle how green can be actually tackled from filmmaking perspective. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. And before we split to networking session, like just free and easy, Matthew, can you advise us on how can we actually take a group photo?
Stand over here. Okay.
So can everybody stand over here?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, can everybody stand over here and then just take a picture, and yeah, we are free to go. Oh yeah, don't forget the place actually closed at 10 p.m. So let's leave before that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good camp. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Tell
one
me
is
how to take.
how to take it, like it.